So let's talk about some of the matchups. Let's talk about the West first. Warriors and Spurs. First game on Saturday. I think the Warriors definitely win this. I just think that they're a little bit they overmatched the Spurs just a little much. Spurs, like I said, not playing very good on the road. In my last video that I made, and I think that's going to continue. So I think they get out to an 0-2 start against the Warriors. They're just overmatched. When you talk about Draymond and Clay, and you talk about KD, even if Curry's not playing this first round matchup, I still LaMarcus Aldridge has to do so much, and I don't see the Warriors losing this first round matchup. They'll get Curry healthy back, probably for the second round. We'll see for sure though. But yeah, I don't see a whole lot going on here. This is just another growing experience for the Spurs and their young team. And obviously probably no Kawhi Leonard's going to be playing, so that's going to be tough. And yeah, Warriors for sure. This first series between them and the Spurs, they kind of got lucky. They could have got matched up against the Thunder or even the Pelicans, and I think they kind of dodged a bullet there. So playing the Spurs is definitely a blessing for the Warriors in this first round, I think. Wizards Raptors. You know, I don't think the Wizards are going to win the series. I think they're going to lose like 4-2, maybe 4-1. But I don't. I think we'll start to see that DeRozan and Lowry aren't going to play as well as they did in the regular season. And then the Raptors just match up really good against the Wizards because the Raptors have a really deep bench. The Wizards have no bench. Wizards have definitely kind of stumbled into the playoffs the way that they've been playing as of lately. Only 4 games over 500, and I just don't see. I think Bradley Beal and I think John Wall will get a couple of the games close. There'll be a couple of close games, but I just don't see the Wizards really coming out on top. Now, when we talk about that matchup, Beal and Wall versus DeRozan and Lowry, really good matchup. Valanciunas versus Gortat. So there's some good matchups involved in this that are going to be key. I think the Raptors definitely win this game or win the series. So we'll see if Wizards can steal one there in Toronto. That'll be huge. We'll see if that happens. I don't really know though. Heat and Sixers, looks like Embiid may be back. Not that I don't even know if they'll need him. The cool matchup between this is Whiteside and Embiid have gone back and forth all year, so kind of fitting them matching up in the first round. I just think the Sixers are too hot right now. I think the Heat may win a game, maybe 2, but I think the Sixers definitely win this matchup pretty easily. Ben Simmons is just going to eat Dragic alive. I think the whole Sixers team is probably going to eat up this Heat team. This Heat team is definitely not as good as the Sixers. Sixers got good veteran presence and Amir Johnson, JJ Redick, guys that have been there before. Wade's been there before, and a couple of these other young guys are not bad. But I don't see the Heat really competing with the Sixers. 4-2, I would say. Pelicans Trailblazers. I think this is going to be a really good series. This one could go 7. Most likely 6. It's really going to depend on if the Pelicans can win one in Portland to start the series. Trailblazers were really hot coming out the All-Star break, really jumped up and got ahead of a lot of these teams. And at the end of the day, they only finished a game better than the Pelicans, so they're really not that much better than them. Anthony Davis, I think, is going to put on a show in the playoffs. He's going to really show out. Like I said, if they can steal one of those first ones, that's going to really give them a chance. Going back 2-2, back to Portland, or maybe they have 3 in a row. I don't know how the scheduling's going this year. Maybe they'll have 3 in a row at home. I don't really know. But regardless, I think Pelicans can push it to 7. Damian Lillard's probably going to have a huge series. I mean, that's basically going to be Lillard versus Anthony Davis. Whose supporting cast will play better though? X factors for the Pelicans, Drew Holiday. Will Rondo go off like Rondo did in the playoffs last year? How effective will CJ McCollum be? Can Nursic, or whatever the fuck his name is, Trailblazers center, can he, handle Davis at all, or is he going to struggle, get in foul trouble? The one thing that sucks for the Blazers, they have a lot of young players and a lot of, Caleb Swanigan and Zach Collins. I don't really expect them to play, but, in a time period where they could get some playing time, they probably won't, with Anthony Davis on the floor. Mitrovic also will probably have a pretty good series for the Pelicans. I could see him having a pretty good series. So this is a fun one. Pelicans Trailblazers is a real fun one. I think that one can go 7. And then talking about some of the other ones, Timberwolves Rockets. Timberwolves are definitely a better seeded team, or a better team than they are seeded at 8. Since they've got Jimmy Butler back and stuff like that. But I just think the Rockets are just too much. I think that one's a 4-0 or a 4-1. That one's going to be real tough. Bucks Celtics. I think that the Bucks Celtics series is gonna be a really good series. No Kyrie. I think these teams are a little bit more even. Now I think the Bucks are young and they make a lot of mistakes. And I think the Celtics are gonna have a good game plan for Giannis. They have one of the best defenses in the league. And so it's going to be tough for him, but I think this is going to be a really good series. I can see it going 6-7. I'm going to go ahead and take the Bucks. I think Bucks are going to win this series. I just think Tatum and Jaylen Brown are too young to lead the squad at this point. And Horford's kind of soft. I talk about him being soft all the time. That's just kind of how I describe him. So I honestly think the Bucks can win this series. And I think Jabari Parker can have a big series. Eric Bledsoe is definitely going to tear up whoever's playing point guard for the Celtics, Rozier, or if they go, a little bit bigger and have somebody else handle the ball. I like the Bucks in this series. The only thing that's going to really hamper the Bucks is if they come out and they make a lot of turnovers. If Giannis isn't, if Giannis takes over games, I don't see why not. This team, can't really handle the Celtics, without Kyrie. Pacers Cavs. I think Pacers Cavs is going to be a really fun series. The fact that the Cavs defense is so bad, and the Pacers are gonna take advantage of stuff like that. I think a big key is how Oladipo plays. Does his play in the regular season carry over to the playoffs? And a big thing for the Cavs here, the Cavs are going to have the Raptors in the next round. So, they're not going to really want a long series with the Pacers. This one goes, 7 games. Either way, I think the Cavs are going to win. I think they'll eke it out. But I just, if the Cavs go 7, it's going to be really tough on them. They usually have some quick first round series for that second round. But, this is a year that they're a 4 seed. Can't remember the last time LeBron was a 4 seed. He's about a 1 seed every year. He usually gets a pretty easy first round opponent. So, and I think the Pacers are really going to give him hell. He's had a history with the Pacers going back to his Heat days. So, I think this is going to be a really fun series, really good series. Cavs really need to get out to a 2-0 lead to really solidify their chances. Going 1-1 back to Indiana is not something that you really want to do. Those first couple games are really important. When you have those first 2 home games, you really want to win both of those. But we'll see what happens. Pacers have a really good team, just as the Cavs, are a really good team because they have LeBron. And then Jazz Thunder, I think this is probably the top. To me, it's the top series. The one not, talking about, if we're just talking about first round matchups, this is the one that I'm just the most excited about. I think a lot of people will feel that the Thunder will win this series, but I think the Jazz, I think the Jazz play better as a team. A lot of individualistic stuff going on with the Thunder. I think Russell Westbrook will go off, do his thing. I think Paul George can go off and do his thing. But I think Melo is just going to fuck it up. He's just going to muck up the waters. And I think the Jazz's teamwork ability, I think Rubio, Gobert, and Donovan Mitchell are going to come in and they're going to get it done. I like the Jazz to win this series. It's definitely going to go 6 or 7. It's going to come down to the last game, most likely. Seven game series here, the Jazz and Thunder. And just talking about, kind of future things, I think, so that means Jazz and Rockets would match up. I'll take Rockets for sure. Warriors and Trailblazers or Pelicans. I'll go Trailblazers to win that other series. I'll take Warriors for sure in that one. So Warriors, Rockets. I'm still going Warriors. If Stephen Curry's back healthy and he looks like himself, I'm definitely taking the Warriors. The only reason that I would say that the Rockets might win would be is if no Stephen Curry, or if Stephen Curry is just not really playing up to par. If he's not back in time or whatever. But the only reason I would think the Rockets would win that. The road still to me goes through Oracle, and the West is won in Oracle, so I think the Warriors will win that. Talking about the East side, Cavs Raptors in the second round. I'll take Cavs. I don't like the Raptors in the playoffs, and then I think LeBron just takes over, just takes it right to DeRozan's throat. He's really taking no prisoners this year. The only thing I'm scared about is I feel like he's kind of had to turn it on a little bit earlier than he's had in the past down the stretch here, and so maybe he's going to get gassed. I don't know. Anytime you doubt LeBron, though, LeBron just turns it to another level. So he's a guy you don't really want to go against. Bucks Sixers in the second round is what I project. It could very well be the Celtics, though. I'm taking Bucks, though. Bucks Sixers for sure. Sixers I think win that series. And we'll have a Sixers Cavs series there in the finals. And that's a real toss up. If the Sixers are playing really hot like they've been, that's gonna be a real tough decision to say, can LeBron put it on his shoulders and really take this Sixers team that just passes the ball really well, shares the ball really well. We'll definitely have Embiid back healthy at that point. That's a really tough one to decide. As much as you want to say, the Cavs is going to win that, I'm going to have to go with the Sixers. I think Sixers, will continue this hot streak. I'm going to take the Sixers to beat the Cavs in about 6 or 7 games. I just think, Ben Simmons' ability to pass the ball is just too much. They have too many weapons between Saric, Embiid, and, the three-point shooters that they have, and Redick, Bellinelli. This is just a scary team. Covington, at this point, they've won 15, 16 in a row. I think they're at the All-Star at Christmas they're 14 and 18, and they're like 37 and 12 or 38 and 12 at this point at the back half of the season. They've really got it all together. Now, as we know, whoever wins the East is just second place, so I don't really see them winning a final, but, that would be really exciting to see, Ben Simmons and Embiid in the finals, this year. But at the same time, I could see the Cavs, pulling it out, the Cavs, but I don't know. I just don't see the Cavs matching up against the Sixers very well. Just that their ability to exploit defenses, the Cavs don't have a very good defense. Now, if there's another team there, if it's the Raptors, I still would say take the Sixers. So it's a tough thing, but I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of the Sixers right now. They're hot going into the playoffs. Their hot streak may end before they get to the Eastern Conference Finals. So we'll see if that happens. But I'm still taking the Warriors to win it all. I've been hearing a lot. A lot of people have jumped off the Warrior bandwagon. Obviously they're tired of it, and it's a little too early though. I think the Warriors are going to win again this year. The Rockets have been great. James Harden's MVP. Don't get me wrong, but James Harden is, as much as he's good in the regular season, I've never seen him do shit in the playoffs. So, we'll see if he gets all the same calls that he does in the regular season. The refs hold the keys. And, if they don't want the Rockets to win, they won't send them to the free throw line.